Hello and welcome one and all to yet again another episode of Level 1 Adventuring. It is I, your host and Dungeon Master, Wolf Scott. A pleasure to be surrounded by my fellow adventurers and the good people in Twitch land right now. If you are new to Level 1 Adventuring, who are we? What is this? Why are we here? Primarily, we are TTRPG stream, so we run big group games like an ongoing 5th edition D&D campaign, which you're going to be watching tonight. We also run solo RPGs. We run some digital RPGs. I got some Baldur's Gate going on. Tons of content that you can watch at your leisure. If you want to see the new episodes, they're on Twitch. Old episodes go to YouTube. So follow us there. Follow us on all the things for the go lives to stay up to date. And also, speaking of following us on things, I am going to plug this really quick. Hopefully the stage transition works. This is the play-by-post announcement for our Discord. If you join the Discord, you can play some 5th edition with the community. It's play-by-post, West Marches style, multiple DMs, group games. It's a good time whether you are a newbie or a veteran. We'd love to see you there. All the instructions are in the Discord, so head there to join. And now I'm going to head back to our game screen and just make sure everything's still working. Okay, we're working. We're chugging through. And also, big thanks to all the services that make our stream more interesting to watch, easier to run. Streamlabs, Stream Audio, Epidemic Sound, TwitchBot. All of those can be found in the link below. And if you choose to use them, then we get a kickback, you get a kickback, everybody is happy. And that is normally all that I have to say. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unmute our wonderful party members who have been waiting so patiently in the wings. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to show you the party pick before we get started. So I'm going to say Paragon City.
Newmont today. She is an Azamar cleric on a mission to find her god. And I'm going to pop it over to Zach.
Hey everybody, thank you Sydney. My name is Zach. I will be playing Zorvarax, our dragonborn fighter, who has learned a little bit about his past and is looking to find out some more. I will popcorn it over to Kimani.
Folks, I'm Kimani, playing the human bard, Musa the Elisai. I'm really cool. Back to Amber.
Hey everyone, my name is Amber, and I'm playing Nadara Valir, our drow rogue. Forgot what I did for a second. I haven't come up with a really cool catchphrase yet, but I got you all next time.
Work in progress.
I'm trying my best.
You're a rogue. You can steal one. It's fine. That's within your.
That is so true. So that I am a cleric on a mission to find my god. Popping over to Garrett.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I play Yoan Byrne, our tiefling wizard. That's Yoan Byrne of the Yarenhall Burns. For I neglected to mention. I was going to say that maybe, given our shared backstory, because I don't have a catchphrase either, that was just something they did before we got together with them, but I guess I got to get one now. So
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And I think that's popcorn back to the DM.
Yep.
Oh wow! How quickly do we go? I'm gonna move back to our Dungeons and Dragons screen. Once again, let everything load in for a second, and then I will treat everyone to a short little brief recap of where we left off, especially for our party members who could not be there last session. And then we'll start with where we're going. So, when we last left our intrepid heroes, the famous catchphrase. So the party, for the past couple sessions, have been traveling with a few members of a knightly order known as the Valiants. They've been tasked with delivering this very important artifact that they don't know what it is or why it is. They just know they got to get it to the capital to have someone look at it. But unfortunately, it was stolen from them by a rogue faction of thieving wizards known as the Forsaken, and so they had to track down its whereabouts. They found where the Forsaken were hiding out in this section of Mira, the continent we're traveling across, in this little seaside cavern grotto that was carved out of the side of a cliff face. And they took some sessions sneaking around, dispelling things, meeting various characters. They managed to talk their way through befriending a Nothic guardian. They also managed to befriend one of the Forsaken who was sort of maybe conflicted with her life path. But this all sort of culminated in battling a mimic guardian who was guarding their supply cache, and eventually gearing up for a confrontation against the leader of this little sect, a dwarven wizardess by the name of Jacqueline Stone-Eye. As the party was preparing for the upcoming onslaught, rather unfortunately, Jacqueline had more than enough time to prepare for this, managed to ambush them while they were resting with a few of her underlings, and a short and quick bloody bout erupted. It left 2 of the companions of the party members unconscious and on the floor bleeding out. All of Jacqueline's cronies were dispatched, but with both Jacqueline and the rest of the party members in some dire straits, Jacqueline decided that the battle was turning against her, pulled up a veil of invisibility, and then started to flee back through the tunnels of the Forsaken Grotto. Very notably for people who were not there last session, when I say she was running away from the party, I do mean she was running away on the ceiling, because through some act of magic, foolery, she was walking on the ceiling as though gravity did not really affect her like a normal person. And that is where we left off. So we have Percy, knight-errant squire on the ground bleeding out. We have Creep, Nothic guardian on the ground bleeding out. And then the rest of the party members, plus Theor, still rearing to go, battered but ready for more, and now losing ground on Jacqueline. Do we have any clarifying questions around that information before we head into the next part of our story?
I wasn't here last session. Did we end up taking a short rest?
We did end up taking a short rest, so you can give yourself the benefit of that.
Cool.
Where's Percy?
Percy was behind a bookshelf, very well, I shouldn't say very valiantly, because you know Percy pretty well. He spent most of the combat cowering behind a bookshelf, and then when he finally got the wherewithal to join in the fray, he jumped behind one of the wizards, grabbed his cloak, pulled it over his head, and then just let somebody else deal with the problem. Yeah, so he is
Point of order.
He's okay though.
Being that he is a valiant, anything he does is done valiantly.
That is, yeah, by default, he earns it.
Yeah, anything he does is, yeah.
Valiant modifier +2 for Percy. So Percy is okay in the sense that he has succeeded a death saving throw, but he is unconscious on the ground. Yes.
Okay, he's one of the.
He's
fallen.
one of the fallen. Yes, it is Percy and Creep are the fallen. Theor is still standing.
I have a potion, and I also have healing hands. So,
like the gameplay attribute, or just in general?
No, just in life.
Just in life.
I'm not a cleric in the game.
Okay, so then I guess this is sort of leading me to where I thought we were going to begin the session is... it sounds like some people want to help our fallen comrades, and some probably want to give chase to Jacqueline. So, who are those people, and where are you going? And then we can determine what's happening from there.
So, y'all, I am, so right as rain, because I did not get hit in the mimic fight at all. And so...
One of the lucky few. I believe Nadara was being digested.
I'm a tank. My AC is 18. I can follow her, but I'm not stealthy. So whatever y'all want me to do, you just tell me.
I am back at full HP, and I am stealthy, so I will definitely follow.
Okay.
Cough up blood. Save Percy!
Oh wait, is Percy still dying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, wait. Before I leave here, I do have a potion. Can I go over to Percy and give to him?
Well, I will say
Practice needs Percy to be alive, otherwise.
I have a potion and I have healing hands. Both. I was gonna do both of them if you want to take the chase. And then I can follow after. Well,
here's what I'll say. It's going to take an action, to get over there and pour the potion down Percy's throat, right? Well, it's also going to take an action to begin the chase proper. Fair. So you can still join in the chase after the fallen party members are tended to. It just may affect how difficult the chase ends up for you because you are going to be behind everybody else who got the quick start. So yeah, I think just knowing who at the beginning of the event, who is going to be helping the fallen and who are going to be joining the chase is the most important bit.
Got it. Okay.
Sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead. Oh, I was just gonna ask who has potions.
I love how polite everyone is, by the way. Everyone's like, no you,
Because
no you.
I am again coughing up blood, but wants to follow Jacqueline.
I have
So
one.
I
potion.
wanna get on my way, but I
Yeah.
will
So
probably die if I don't.
I have one potion and healing hands, and that's
Okay.
all the
That's
healing that I have right now. Kimati, do you have any healing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, anyone else have anything?
I mean, so yeah, remember, do we take a long rest at any point after, like...
Just
do we go
shorts,
into the
just
toilet?
shorts, yeah.
Just short, yeah.
I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. But I will say, it says that Nadara here in my notes has 3 potions of healing. Do you still got those 3 potions of healing?
I have. Hold on, I'm going back to see. Nope, I have 1 left.
Some of them may have been dispensed or guzzled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I don't got nothing.
I have 1, so if someone's not unconscious and very hurt, they can still come with me, and then like a turn maybe heal you.
In that case, I'll come with you.
Okay, so it sounds like
I'll take that one
Nadara.
if you don't mind.
Sounds like Nadara and Zorvarax are on the chase.
Yeah.
So then we have Musadi, Yoan, and Sydney. Or Sydney, Viola. No, it's just Sydney, but teleported into the world of
I
D&D.
told you, I'm not a cleric. Trust me.
Yoan would also like to give chase.
Okay.
Cool.
So how many people is running after...
We have Nadara, Zorvarax, and Yoan. We'll say, and I'll let the party decide. Actually, no, I will say Jacqueline would most likely, I'm sorry, Jacqueline, Devotion would most likely head off. It's a tough split between whether Devotion or Theor would give chase. In my mind's eye, I kind of feel like Theor's giving chase, because it is his knightly duty, although his nephew is on the ground bleeding out. And Devotion...
I look at him and I say, I got him.
Okay. So we'll say Theor's giving chase. So that means Devotion, depending on if you guys want her help with Percy and and Creep, or if you want her to give chase as well, she could.
Would she be helpful with Percy and Creep?
She knows magic. She's she's devoted.
She's a wizard, though.
She's
a wizard, Viola.
I think she'll be more helpful with chasing down Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
She might know the layout of the...
True. She has
Also
a
true.
better idea of what's going on. Very true. Okay, so that means we have Nadara, Zorvax, Yoan, Theor, and Devotion giving chase to Jacqueline, which means the only people we have unaccounted for right now are Viola and Musadi.
And then the injured, I'm assuming, are they staying where they are?
Yeah. They're currently unconscious, so they can't really do much.
So I assume we'll have to heal one on one turn and heal the other one on another turn?
Most likely.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to do that for my first 2 turns, and then I'm going to follow y'all.
Cool.
All right, so
Okay,
we're
well then I'm kicking it with her.
okay. So we got
Woo!
Musadi.
Keep her safe.
Sure.
Viola. I go.
All right, so we got Musadi and Viola. Perfect. Okay, so the party sees Jacqueline throw up her cloak of invisibility. All you can hear are the pitter-patter of footsteps from above your heads, shooting down into the rocky hallways away from the library. Oh, most notably, too, in last session, there's 2 entrances to the library. The secret passage, which y'all found earlier, which she's now running away from. There was also the double doors, which Viola just broke through, just raw strength that one session. But when Jacqueline decided to ambush the party, she did cast some sort of spell that magically locked or warded that door. There is sort of a grid of magical light upon it at this moment. So you kind of get the feeling that if you tried to go that way, it would be difficult, to say the least. Not impossible, but more difficult. So she is invisible. She's gaining ground, opposite direction. The party members trade all of their quips to get each other into a formation and split. So what we're going to do, we're going to treat this sort of like as two concentric skill checks, two concentric circle skill checks. They're going to like exist at the same time, right? One of which is going to be the party chasing after Jacqueline. The other of which is going to be the party doing their best to help the Fallen. So speaking to the Fallen, we'll pan our camera over to that angle, right? You see Viola and Musadi rush over to the bodies of Creep and Percy. Percy's glasses are off of his face. They probably have a crack down the lens. I think I narrated that he might have coughed out a tooth because he was battered by flying books into unconsciousness. So you can just hear him flat on his back, sort of, "Oh, the lexicon, iconography, I remember it," and like choking up blood. And then Creep is just face down, giant eyes sort of warbling in place, and with every breath you hear, "Creep." Creep. I'm going to give each of them, before you guys have a chance to interact. Okay. I'm going to give... you see Creep continue his labored breathing. Oh, Creep, but still maintaining firm at 2 successful death saves currently. Percy, however, convulses quite violently as a gout of blood sort of spills out onto the front of his chest plate. That is 1 failed death save as the party rushes over to intervene. So, looks like Viola, I see a finger. Yes.
Would it be an action for Musadi to take the potion from me, or can that be a bonus action, and then the action be to give one of them the potion, so that we can save them on the same turn, maybe, hopefully?
I would say that you could pass the item between each other. Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. That was my question.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a passing of a potion.
Yeah, I'll give you the potion. Take
I'll go to Creep.
Excellent. So you're, I'm assuming, pouring a potion down Creep's maw. And Viola, what are you doing?
I'm gonna do healing hands. So it's equal to my level, so he only gets 2, but it's something. He's up. He's not having a death save anymore.
Okay, Musadi, can you just describe to me how you feel?
I'm disgusted. Absolutely disgusted, right? Like, I'm sure he got a lot of teeth going on, too, so it's just like this little tentative, like, this is, I'm good on that. So, yeah, but right in his little mouth.
Not helping your uncomfortability at all. In his unconscious state, as he begins to feel the potion hitting his tongue, there's sort of like this unconscious puckering of lips and like a slithering of a tongue, like towards the liquid. I'm a creep. As you like, you try to pour it without getting any slobber on you. But your diligence pays off as the healing liquid pours down Creep's throat, and with a new flash of vigor behind that giant cycloptic eye. Creep! Oh, Music Man! Hello, Music Man!
I'm blushing. The Music Man. Well.
You can see Creep like gingerly raises a hand as if to caress your face thankfully for your safe givings.
You're wilding on that though, please. Do not touch me, please.
Creep retracts quickly, thankful, and bows his head.
Yeah, okay. That's all I got for Creep. Disgusting.
Alright, so Creep looks like for now is stabilized, but as we discussed, Musadi, that's going to put your checks to chase a little bit behind the party since you're taking those extra moments to tend to Creep. So I'm going to make a note of that right here. Now, Viola, if you could likewise give me a little idea of what your healing hands manifests as when interacting with Percy.
Yeah, totally. So, are Percy's glasses nearby?
Yes, they are.
Great. So I'm going to grab them and place them back on his head. And once they hit, like, I'm just going to touch his little temples when I put the glasses back on. And you're going to have, like, a little jolt from my sigil on my little necklace. And it'll come out in, like, silver. And whoo, just come on back.
As there's a spark of healing light that emanates through his temples, you can see as you put those glasses on, that magnified sort of bug-eyed effect, you can see like they open bright and wide, and they're like cross-eyed for a moment. And like without even thinking, just sort of reaches forward and grabs you by like the pauldrons of your armor. Lady Viola, I apologize. Something quite unlike me came over me. What has happened? Where is the wizardess? What is going on? Sort of like becoming frantic once again. You see beads of sweat building at his brow.
When he grabs my shoulders, I immediately grab his wrists and keep him like away from me. So that whole time, she's like keeping him at bay.
Which is very easy for her. I think like you put like an entire palm around his wrist. He's a thin lad.
Yeah, and I say, all right, you stay back because you're not gonna like, you're not so hot right now. And I just tap him on the head and I just like kind of give him a little light shove back before we all head. And I'm like, you just hang tight here. I don't think you should come with us for a little bit at least.
As you give Percy that shove, you can see he's like still, you can almost see, the birds flying around his head, metaphorically speaking. I am a valiant, I am a soldier of the realm. And as you push him, he like hits his back flat into one of the bookshelves and a few more books like pop down onto his head, and he just pathetically slides down until his bottom is like on the floor again. I think I'll wait for you right here. That'll be fine.
Yeah, you could take a little nap.
All right, with Percy and Creep attended for at the moment, no longer unconscious. That means that the party is able to give chase proper to the fleeing invisible figure above their heads. So, Musadi and Viola, we're going to save your checks towards the end, just because that makes sense both mechanically and narratively. Theming everyone, but we will have the rest of the party do their checks now. So just because I'm gonna say highest dex, right? I'm gonna say Nadara's probably quick on the jump here. So Nadara, this is a skill challenge. You can use any of your skills or abilities or even spells if you have them handy, readily available. Towards this, you just have to propose to me a skill, see if it is justified within the narrative, and then make a roll. And then we'll see what happens from there.
All right, so we're giving chase to her, and she's crawling on the ceiling. Is what's happening?
Yeah, as far as you, we narratively said that last session, everyone who was missing was still kind of recovering from the previous fight, so you were a little indisposed. So at least from what you could see as you were tending to your wounds in the last fight, she's not so much crawling as she is just walking, running, standing on the ceiling as if the bottoms of her feet are bound like to the ceiling. Now, of course, you can't see anything because she is invisible, but when you last saw her, she was running across the ceiling just as easily as you or I would, cross a cobblestone street.
Okay. Okay, so can I want to like move in the direction that she's going to, but I want to see if I can do this in a way because I have a feeling she's going to have a vantage point on me, so I want to be stealthy if possible.
Okay.
Yes, I'd like to try to move towards her direction and see if I can spot her anywhere with also trying to conceal myself, if that works.
I would say if you wanted to use, if you're trying to ascertain her location, that would be a perception check. Okay. But if you wanted to try and, maybe head her off and use some stealth to your advantage, that would be stealthy. Two separate checks you're trying to do there. Two separate checks? Yeah.
Okay. So, let's try the perception check. I think I'll be more helpful if I can try to spot her.
Okay. You can give me that first.
Oh, all right, let's do it. 15.
15. A solid check indeed. Nadara, as you are giving chase to the figure above you, obviously, most of your sight is stolen by her illusory magics. However, your keen senses, spending time, pilfering through the darkness, manages to catch not only the sound of the footfalls against the top of the cave, which is sort of like almost like echolation. You're able to sort of better ascertain where she's moving based on the sounds, but there are the faintest little crumbs of pebbles and dust that are falling from the ceiling wherever her boots make contact, which is allowing you to keep in step with her despite her missing corporeal form. So that is a success on the skill check.
Amazing. And with Zorvarex and Yoen with me, is there anyone? And Theor. Theor is also with us?
Theor is also, yes, giving chase as well.
I want to soundlessly alert them to where I see her. So I'm just kind of gonna get their attention and kind of point in the direction where I see all this happening.
You point. They will do their best. The tunnel winds. Right now you are leaving the library and you're heading back towards the secret passageway tunnels. So there are a few rocky outcroppings, and I always forget if it's stalagmite or stalactite, which is on the ceiling. But there are a couple of those obstacles which she could possibly use to obfuscate your chase. But they do have a better idea of where she is now. So that is Nadara's check. How about now, Yoen?
Can I use investigation to try and see clues as to where she is sort of pivoting and moving?
Yeah, I would say you could use investigation. Sure, I like that. I like the way you're thinking.
Ooh, 21.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I should also write that devotion is in here as well. Hey, thank you for following, Garrett Lee. Much appreciated. Happy to have you on stream with us tonight.
I love
Nice name.
Yeah, Garrett's for Garrett. That's our. Oh, whoa!
Garrett's for Garrett. That
Also,
should be a whole charity right
Garrett Lee just hit us 230. Our goal, we were trying to hit 230. You
Nice.
are 230, Garrett. Happy to have you. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yay!
A sweet boy, Garrett.
A sweet boy.
Sweet boy.
Yoen, having spent some time investigating the tunnel ways as you were sneaking your way in here earlier, you are, and with having a keen eye for detail, you are privy to the directions in which these tunnels would normally wind, and sort of remapping that scale in your head as you're chasing her allows you to stay one step ahead. The footsteps do not draw further away as you continue your chase. You are still hot on her heels with that success. So that is 2 successes towards your challenge at this point. It is at this time that as Jacqueline turns a corner, you now can see as the party giving chase turns corner along with the sound of those footsteps, it is now giving way into the mimic chamber, right? This was the large supply room with all the barrels and the crates and the leather sacks, right? All of the stuff that they were using to hide all of their ill-gotten goods across the realm. She's wheeling around into this section of the cavern system, and that is where the chase will continue. With that, I think we should probably give it over to, let's give it to our other party member, Zorvarax.
So my chance to do my skill check for chase?
Your chance to do the skill check for chase.
Is athletics a thing I could use for? I could bound and bounce and try to catch up?
Yeah, I would say you could sort of push your muscles to their from their natural limits to try and continue that chase.
He's gonna flex as much as he can, so let's do it.
Scales glistening, rippling.
Scales glistening. Oh man, that's sad. That's gonna be a 14 with athletics.
Oh, but the scales do glisten.
Oh, they glisten? They glisten enough? All right.
Zorvarax.
Jacqueline sees Zorvarax's glistening muscles.
Well, she would if she wasn't too afraid to turn around, but she feels it. She feels it throughout the room, and it scares her. I would say through a combination of your already impressive might and the fact that you've just learned some newfound draconic leaping techniques.
Jumpy booms.
Yes, you are able to, you're vaulting over some of the barrels, the crates. You're sort of like parkouring off of some of the obstacles that would otherwise hinder your steps, but they did not account for your newfound capabilities. So you are a success in this challenge.
That's all I want. That's all I wanted to hear in my whole life.
That you are a success in this challenge.
Success.
Listen, anytime you need me to send you that text, you just let me know. I needed to sometimes. All right, so this is going to be Devotion. We'll say Devotion's turn. Devotion is going to give us a little perception check. Why not? I think she should be fairly adept at that. If I remember, hopefully I'm not getting too far away from my mic as I'm saying these things. I'm pretty sure she's fairly adept at the perception arts. She is. Okay. That looks like a success if I'm doing my math correctly. Perfect. Devotion, hot on the heels of Jacqueline, is clambering over some of the boxes as well, not with the same level of skill or might that Zorvarax is, but not letting them get in her way. She is noticing, however, that Jacqueline is moving towards, if you all remember, there was two entrances to Jacqueline's personal chambers. There was the secret passage that was connected to the supply cache, which you are in right now. There was also another door, which was where some chanting, some ritual chanting was taking place when you first entered the complex. So you do know there are two entrances to presumably this chamber where she's fleeing. She is fleeing through the secret passage, and as she, the pitter patter of footsteps sort of takes her towards the next bend in the hall, right towards the secret passage, you can hear Devotion shout to the rest of the party, "Be on your guard! Surely there are magical wards beyond this door!" As she continues to press on through the hallway and disappears behind Jacqueline. That is going to be Theor's turn. And Theor, I don't think is quite as perceptive as the rest of your friends, but might be able to athletics his way through. Let's see. Ooh, still rolls very, very high. Okay. So Theor, hearing Devotion's warning, one hand on the sword at his waist, rushes behind her and the rest of the party. Really, he's keeping ground, but he's wearing a lot of heavy armor. It's a little tougher for him than most. Your warnings are wise, everyone. Eyes up! And continues to rush. He's still keeping in time. That is a success towards the challenge. That means it is going to be Nadara and Viola. This is around the time that y'all will be entering... Oh, sorry, not Nadara. Viola and Musaddi. It's around the time that you'll be entering the skill challenge. So the rest of the party members have broken away from you. They've now pushed their way past two of the adjoining doorways to get towards Jacqueline's chamber. But you can still hear them. You still know the general direction in which they have fled. So you can give me your checks. They will be at a higher DC, because you had to spend a little time tending to the fallen party members, but you can still give me those checks to see if you keep step.
Well, after you, please.
Oh, I'm slow as shit. You should go.
And so, yeah, all I think I can do, and again, since we haven't taken a rest, my see invisibility lasts for an hour. That's already done.
Yes.
Okay. All right, buddies. I think all I have is athletics. I'll just try to catch up as best as I can.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, shit. So I rolled a natural one.
Ooh. Okay.
So Sorry, folks.
Hey,
Sorry about that.
that's the luck of the
What
draw.
happens when you don't spill your tea all over your desk right before the
Idiot.
game starts?
Yeah.
You can try to. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, do you have inspiration? Because I have so much.
I was like, I feel like I'm sitting on a ton. If you want one of mine, if that's possible.
I'm gonna say this, y'all. As a reminder, Musidi hates caves in the dark. So I'm gonna
That's true. You know what? I will give you a point of inspiration for for maintaining your character trait. Musadi, you break away towards the sounds, but with the rest of the party split away from you and the darkness encroaching on all angles, you start to feel that paranoia pump into your chest. You start to feel the beads of sweat build at your brow, and you begin to stumble and trip a little bit on your footing. That will be a failure towards this skill challenge as Jacqueline gains a bit more ground on the party during this chase. Then we're going to go to Viola.
Okay, I have a question.
I have an answer. I hope. I can't promise you, but most likely I do.
From me, if I move 30 feet, how far away is the door that she's running towards?
Probably far away, but depending on what spell you want to do, we might hand wave it for the sake of the skill challenge. What are you trying to do?
I want to kind of cast a little thaumaturgy to slam that door closed.
Okay.
The one that she's running for.
Okay. Yes, I will say you can give me an Arcana check.
Oh no.
You can give me an Arcana check, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Oh, it's a 13.
It's a 13. Okay. Still, though, as Jacqueline is heading towards this door, so you were trying to slam it shut?
Yeah, I was just trying to spook her a little bit, you know? Give her a little scare.
As you reach out and you send a thaumaturgic wave attempting to bar this door, you can feel resistance, almost like this innate magical sense that she has that her domain is being thwarted. Invisibly, you can imagine in your mind's eye, she reaches out a hand as the two spells sort of collide midair. However, this does advance the party forward, as while the door would have slammed shut behind the party after she had crossed, you do manage to keep it ajar. The door sort of pries open on its hinges, leaving just enough space for the party to continue unobstructed from Jacqueline's magical closure. So that will be a success.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding.
All right, so you are now about to head into the Zorvarax, just making sure I'm writing down everyone's order here. You're about to head into the chamber where presumably Jacqueline hangs out, right? You do know from Devotion, as a pre-warning, that there is probably some sort of magical defenses in here. So because she's with you and because she has forewarned you, I'm going to give the party members who are entering this leg of the challenge a little advantage here. So I'm going to make a note here. We got Devotion, Fior, Musadi, and Viola. Okay. As the party hears this warning, right? There's pretty much no way to enter the space without it somewhat crossing the threshold, right? So as you are heading to the space, you are more prepared to deal with whatever she's got going on, but the likelihood of you entirely avoiding it is fairly slim. As you're wheeling around to this next doorway, very similarly to a couple of the Forsaken fights and scuffles and traps that you've seen throughout your stay here in Riverholm, the floor alights with strange magical illumination. You see runes carve their way into the stoneworks, and you feel a strange gravitational pull attempt to anchor you in place around where these sigils are scrawled. The party, in aggregate, can you please give me either your choice of a athletics or a dexterity saving throw?
Any chance I could do acrobatics here?
This is a saving throw. Unfortunately, it's not a skill check.
Oh, that's right.
My question is, I have the Dungeon Delver feat.
Ooh.
So should I have advantage on this?
That does specifically state it gives you advantage on trap-based things in dungeons, correct?
Yes.
Then yes, I would allow that.
Did you mean strength or dexterity?
What did I say?
Athletics or dexterity?
Then yes, that is what I that is what I meant. And now I can see why you asked me about.
I really would have preferred athletics. Thanks, Garrett. Just kidding. Strength or dexterity?
I got a 17.
17.
She's strong.
She's strong.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I got a 13.
15, baby.
7.
Even with my advantage.
Nadara?
I got a 7.
7. Okay, Musadi?
I got a 6.
6.
You suck.
I think it was just something about watching all of your backs go into the darkness. It was too much.
Just stole all the strength from you.
Yeah.
Yoan? Oh, I have you on mute, Yoan.
That was 15.
15. Got you. Okay. Forewarned, but not entirely immune to the magical traps laid out by Jacqueline. You can feel this gravitational force begin to pull and tug at your ankles. Those of you who got 14 or higher managed to push past this influence. You continue to run unobstructed. However, those of you who got below a 14 begin to feel this gravitation weigh you down. This does not entirely take you out of the challenge, but these weigh down your steps so heavily that moving forward, the rest of the challenge will be slightly harder than before. Entering this chamber, we're going to head back to the top of the round, which I believe is Nadara for our skill challenge. As you all enter here, well, first you have to contest with the brilliant lights that were accosting your ankles. But after that initial wave of magical energy dissipates, you kind of get a better sense of where you're at. This appears to be like a private lectern hall for the Forsaken. There are a series of tiered rock shelves that have been hewn out of the natural stone here that would create like a semicircular seating area for many of the Forsaken to stare down into a central pit, where you might imagine that Jacqueline would give arcane dissertations or other sort of demonstrations. Yoan, you are probably no stranger to these kind of goings on, even though probably at a much more prestigious environs. You do notice that there is a plinth that is sort of situated in the center of this area, looking like it would be illuminating a very noteworthy or otherwise important object. But unfortunately, you do see that that object is not there, and you continue to hear the pitter-patter of feet above your heads as the chase continues. So, Nadara, that is going to be your check.
Okay. So, could I use an acrobatics check on this one? Does that?
Yeah, I would say because the terrain is a little awkward with all of these like tiered rocky seating arrangements, I would say you could use maybe acrobatics to hop and jump your way from like point to point and save yourself some time crossing the entire gap.
Okay, cool. Let's hope my dice don't fail me. Alright, so acrobatics. Let's try it. Oh, I got a 24.
Ooh, 24 would be a success.
You've been waiting to flip around this entire time.
That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just like, give me a reason. Give me a reason to do a backflip. You watch the figure of Nadara just end over end, backflip, front flip, side bend between some of these outcroppings, manages to completely clear the gap, which would be normally obstructing the center of the room towards where the ritual chamber would be. Nadara, you do not lose any progress towards your chase of Jacqueline. The chase is on. That is a success.
Amazing. I couldn't let Zorvax's shiny, glistening muscles show me up.
Similar technique, but in a different way. You gotta keep...
competition. We're all on a team together.
But if I was winning, it might be. It's not a competition. Yoan, I believe that's going to be you next.
In that case, could I use Arcana to try and sort of sense ahead for any more magical traps?
Yes, you may.
That's going to be a 16.
A 16. Yoan, pressing your psychic awareness out into the ether for any sort of other arcane disturbances, you very do much feel some sort of ping, some sort of pulse in return. You actually might have gotten a glimpse of this. I can't remember whenever you initially decided to take creep up on the secret entrance to the supply cache, but the one hallway which was leading toward the ritualistic chanting did have what appeared to be the beginnings, the humble beginnings of a magical barrier that was forming, which you likely could surmise had to do with some of the chanting that was happening, right? Trying to form a barrier to prevent your entry. Now that you've slain some of the acolytes and Jacqueline is now on the run, that barrier cannot be maintained with the same level of strength, but it is nonetheless still present. So because, Yoan, you managed to detect that, I'm going to give the rest of the party a little bonus, a little boon as to overcoming it. If you'd like to say anything to the party to let them know that you have successfully ascertained this.
I'm blanking on anything in particularly inspiring to say. So let's just say.
Yeah, you do it, and you do it well.
He basically repeats that, and it's a little bit boring. He's at 3 HP. He's not firing on.
Yeah, he's
3 HP.
We're all running at
yeah, like literally on fumes, chasing this woman. All right, you are heading out of the sort of tertiary sort of guard chamber. You can see this is probably where Jacqueline would have had some acolytes standing watch before, and of course channeling a barrier. Now it is somewhat emptier, and there is still sort of the faint glimmerings of an obstacle sort of barring the cavernous opening into the next hallway, but it does seem weak enough that with the right amount of force or speed, it could be bypassed. So that is going to be Nadara just went, Yoan just went. I believe we're going to throw that over to Zorvarax.
Oh, man. Well, in that case, I'm trying to think, 'cause I can't just redo athletics again, right?
Correct, yeah, unless you had some sort of other special ability or that, might justify its use again.
Yeah, no. I don't really have that, but I do have history. So is there, while we're running through these ruins, am I seeing any kind of markings that would give me a guide for where they might be trying to go?
Ooh, I like where your head is at. Yeah, give me a history check.
That's gonna be, oh man, that's not good. An 8.
An 8 total? Okay.
I think he's gonna go this way.
Zorvarax, you boldly run ahead, hand towards the wall, trying to use your previous knowledge of dungeon delving and ancient ruins to see, like, what could possibly lead us, But unfortunately, these wizards, they are not of the way that you are normally defending against in terms of traps and machinations. You do see nothing that could help you in this. I want to now let the party know that at that failure, there is the possibility now, we're running the possibility that we are close to either successes or fails with these next few checks. So you're sort of on the blade's edge on what will happen in terms of Jacqueline's escape.
I'm sorry.
We're going to throw that over to the party. We'll leave the NPCs towards the end here. Musa D, I believe you're the next in the chase.
Okay. So, I'm behind everybody.
Yes.
Right? And so, the best I can do, I'm going to try to do, can I do acrobatics? To try to flippy like Nadara did, exactly how she flipped. I'm going to try just to catch up. And I don't know, because at this point, I have nothing, y'all. I have nothing. I have literally nothing to help. So,
I'm with you, man.
I would love to see a little flippy. We're all burning our last bits of energy here.
And so, just to be clear, though, right? I can do the flippy, but will that actually contribute toward us getting Jackie, right? So I can do all of these flourishes, and it actually do nothing.
No.
So I'm just make sure.
I can tell you that as long as you succeed on a challenge, it counts towards the party's combined success. Cool. Yes.
If you flip best, good enough.
Yeah, if you just have to really flip your heart out.
Yeah.
Flip for your life.
I want to make sure it's clear again too. We got a bonus, you said, right? We got a
yes.
Bonus. Remember, what do you mean by the bonus? I want to make sure I know all of my outlets.
I will give you a +2 to whatever you roll.
Okay, cool. All right, so acrobatics.
Not quite in.
Nadara yells at him and is like, just step exactly where I stepped, nowhere else.
Okay, what is your acrobatics? I want to be clear. What is your acrobatics?
My modifier? +5.
Okay, I'm 4, so I'm right on your ass. Just know that I may actually outshine you.
I rolled a 24. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, I'm gonna roll again.
Yeah. Oh no!
I'm gonna use the point of inspiration now.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you roll again? Did you say 24?
Yes.
Okay, bet. Come on, Kimani. I rolled the 18. That's not that bad, player.
No, that's not good at all. That's not good at all. Yeah. I would say that your form is like not exactly the same as Nadar's, but you have such a natural grace and panache. You you make it your own. You make it your own. Yeah.
I do. Holds up 9.
Great.
Speaking of Viola. No pressure or anything, but you are now within a...
I have to go now?
It's the parties. You gotta do
How am I supposed to outflip?
I mean, you don't have to flip.
Oh, yeah.
But you... Oh, no, I wasn't gonna flip.
No. In this armor? Absolutely not.
But, you are... Like I said, you're getting towards the point where a failure or success could be the writing on the wall for what happens with your chase with Jackie. So no pressure or anything. No pressure or anything.
I hear you. So... I'm very athletic.
Yes.
I'm very strong.
You are. You literally almost tore double oaken doors off their hinges, I believe, earlier this adventure. Yes.
How can I do that again to make that helpful for y'all right now?
Well, you haven't used athletics in the current skill check, correct?
No, I haven't. So then I'm just gonna push myself to run stronger.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I
faster.
Just stronger. Well, I could say you could even use your strength to push against like the faint magical barrier, and perhaps even pierce it with like your raw strength.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna pierce it with my raw strength.
Yeah, it first sounded like you said your rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll pierce it. You're gonna use something, and something's gonna get pierced. I don't know. What do you want from me?
Something's getting pierced by it. Something.
I'm using a point of inspiration. I can't miss a magical wall. Like, that's just embarrassing. So she missed a little bit. I got 10.
10 total?
Yeah.
Viola, you rush and you press the bulk of your body up against this magical barrier. You are struggling foot over foot, trying. You can see like the blue light almost bending and warping with your body as you're pressing forward. And just when you are about to push through, there is another bright flash of energy. It all swings backward. You get thrown off of your feet back into the rest of the party members that are at your heels as you all fall over end into one another back into the ritual chamber. Yes?
Does that extra 2 points do anything? Because I didn't include that.
What would it get you to?
12.
It's still a little shy.
That's fair. I just figured it was worth an ask.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. You got to use every point of resources that you can. Unfortunately, as Viola is picked off of her feet and thrown violently backwards into the rest of the party, not enough to deal any damage, but definitely enough to slow your forward progress, you can hear a cackle in the tunnels ahead of you. What did I say? Too slow! Too slow! As the pitter-pattering feet get further and further away, Jacqueline seems to make a quick escape, and moments later, whatever magical power she had holding over this place, considering her considerable distance, finally wanes. The energy shield falls flat, and the party is still in one piece, but Jacqueline has made her escape.
I beefed it hard, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Devotion and Theor, who are just bounced backwards. Theor tries to scramble to his feet. Stop! In the name of the Valiants! The law of the realm! And like after a few moments, he realizes that he's just yelling into the darkness, and you can hear his like boots begin to slow down, and they fall, and he sort of stops in place and just gives a cold, steely glare forward into the depths. Devotion sort of picks herself up, runs towards Viola, and sort of tries to steady her shoulder and not let her take the full brunt of the fall. Sorry, the wards, I didn't realize there would be another set. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it is not your fault that I beefed it so hard. I thought I was stronger.
So what now? Right? What now? We did all of this. She's gone. We're in a cave.
Follow.
Well, wait. We should try to find the relic, right? Do we know that it's not here?
I don't suppose it was on that plinth, Devotion.
Devotion casts her eyes downward. Yes, that is where Jacqueline was storing the object for study and to give her various talks on pontificating about its use. I do believe since it is no longer housed there, there's a very good chance that she has taken it.
Wait, point of order. Do we know what it is now?
No.
Or we still don't know. So Devotion, what the fuck is it?
The only person who has seen it, I think, without its wrappings, was Nadara, because she cracked a peek at it one night when everybody else was trying to sleep.
Is it Grogu? Is it just Baby Yoda?
It's Baby Yoga? Yes, it is Baby Yoga. It is the very concept of yoga. I'm sorry, Nadara's the only one who has seen it without its wrappings, so...
But I don't think I've shared that I've seen it at all, right?
I don't believe so, no.
Right.
So did
I
you?
will also say I don't know if we had ever discussed what it is because I don't think I know right now.
Well, I guess point of order for Viola then. Do you want to press devotion to see what devotion knows about the object?
I don't want to. I'll go with the party. I do. Me as a player, very curious as to what we've been fucking with for the last 2 years. But I understand that we might have pressing matter.
I personally want to hunt down whoever hurt Percy.
We might.
That would be Jacqueline.
So
Turns out you were chasing whoever was hurting Percy.
I want to end them.
Right, but do we have to stay in the cave?
I think so.
I don't think we do. I don't
Is
think we
there?
do.
Yeah, because what were we in the cave for?
To get the
To get the relic, yeah.
Jackie and the relic.
Relic, and the relic is now with Jack.
With Jacqueline, who has escaped the
And-
caverns.
Oh, so
That's
she's outside of the cave completely then.
So we
As far as
must.
you're aware.
We must give chase.
I say give
I
chase.
believe. But we probably should get Percy, and not leave him.
Oh,
in-
of course. Didn't we already read the? Didn't
He's stable, but I told him to stay in that room.
Right, y'all, just as a reminder, we're doing a shit job, right? The Knoll Queen got away, right? Jackie got away, right? But running around like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a cave, right?
bird
Like, what are we
and-
doing all of this for?
Oh, that's my mistake, Moosity. I meant to try harder, and I just simply forgot.
Doing the right thing doesn't mean that you're always good at it.
We're trying our best.
Put that on a t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen.
Doing the right.
It doesn't mean you're good at it. All right, so it sounds like we want to give chase to Jacqueline. We have to get Percy in order to do that. Are there any other points of order we want to take with devotion or anybody else moving forward?
We can-
Is Creep still with us?
Creep would be back with
Yeah.
Percy, recovering from his wounds. Yes.
Can he even leave the cave? Do we want him
That's
outside?
literally what I was about to ask.
Get everyone stable.
Will he
I don't
even
think
want
that
to
he
leave
wants
the cave?
to. Yeah, I was about to say.
Will the DM want him to want to leave the cave?
I think
Does the DM want another stat block following the party? Let's find
Creep
out.
has been a stalwart companion to us. I think we should see.
Did we ever do good on our promise to Creep though, to give him the magical items?
You got him into
to the
the
books.
library.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he very excitedly pressed his face up against the bookshelves and just
He
nuzzled them last
he got
session.
to snuggle up with some books.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'll turn to devotion and ask them, what do you want to do? Do you want to be with us, a bunch of failures you can't chase? Do you want to be free, right? You're done with Jackie. Like, what do you want to do?
She looks up at you. There is some sort of trepidation in her eyes, given everything that's happened. And as she's about to respond, Theor turns a corner and faces all of you and says, "She has no say in her fate. She is an outlaw. She is a Forsaken. She has done crimes against this realms and the good of its people, and she will be brought forth to proper law, and she will be seen through for these crimes."
Points of order, several. Point the first. Don't you think at least a few of those ills have been remedied by your assistance of us in these last bits of this ordeal?
I am sure that some of her sentencing can be eased due to her valiant efforts, but she has done far more ill to this realm than she has done good. More so, the relic that we have been sought to acquire, which was stolen from her hands, is still away from us.
Well, point the second. Where do you suggest that we take her from here? Because as far as I can see, we're going after Jacqueline so that we can get the thing back.
Indeed, and first we are going to stop over at the Valiant Camp, report our failings, so that the captains can anoint all of the others that need to know that we are still on the hunt.
You don't suppose we should stay directly on this trail, or we're losing ground already?
We have already lost too many good soldiers out on this field. You saw them taken by the Kelpie, taken by the outlaws, and the gnolls. Our numbers dwindle. They need to know our next movements.
If you've already lost so many for this cause, why not send her then?
That was actually point the third. Good thinking, Zorvarax. What if? And I don't mean to suggest that we are judge, jury, and let's not say executioner, of course.
A big gulp from Devotion in the corner.
Suppose we were to put her on a sort of remedial track, undoing the exact damage that she has done by helping us recover this thing.
Theor nods his head. He's considering it. I would take a persuasion check.
Well, that's good because I have proficiency in that. let me look at my little point total here. It's too bad the dice hate me. You know what? I'm gonna spend inspiration.
Yeah, do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exact same roll, 9 total.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened to me.
If I may, can I try?
Yeah, I can say we can treat this as a sort of mini skill challenge to try and turn Theor's mind here for sure. So we'll say that's one failure. As Theor cuts a glance over to Yoan, there would be a fair amount of deeds that would need to be done by her hand to undo what she's already wrought.
Well, there are many days ahead of us, but Zorvarax?
Well, I already rolled, but I can re-roll again if you want.
What was the total?
Was it a good roll or a bad roll?
It was a good roll. That's why I showed it on the screen. It was a 19. So
that is a good roll.
That's gonna be a 21.
Ooh.
21 is a very good roll. Let me take a look at this. Write this down. What do you say, Zorvarax, to try and turn Theor's heart with that persuasion check?
You're assuming failure all the same. So why not send them to the slaughter before we get there?
Devotion raises a finger in protest.
Yoan just kind of like grabs her aside and is like, there are civilian rules, don't worry.
But Zorvarax winks at Devotion. Because he knows that that's not actually the case.
I would like to imagine that for Zorvarax, it is like the most obvious wink. Like, Zorvarax thinks it's very hidden, but it's like,
But also, like, send her to the slaughter. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no second meaning.
Exactly.
Theor, trades a glance between Yoan and Zorvarax. Strange that you should fight so sternly for her escape and yet offer her to the sacrifice of her fellows, but you do make a point. Our numbers dwindle and we could use the support.
I'd rather think the Valiants being what they are, they could protect her, just saying.
It seems like, I'm going to say he's not fully convinced, but you're working there. Is anybody else, I can't talk. Anybody else have any good points to bring up to Theor in this?
Viola has learned from her beef.
From her beef.
I can try something.
Okay.
I think it's a little risky though.
Risky for the biscuit.
So I'm not good at persuasion, but I am good at intimidation.
Oh.
Do you want to take it hard with the charisma?
I mean, listen, good, dude. I mean,
you're just quiet.
I'll say this much: if you, I will definitely the DC is going to be higher if you try to intimidate a knight captain. But if you succeed on it, I will say that it will be far effective than a normal success. So that will be your risk or reward.
Oh.
Hey, player.
Listen, you're a bard. You have high charisma. I don't.
I just think. I'm gonna be honest with you folks, right? We're still in the middle of the cave, right? And so, like, as much as I want to do my thing, right, we're still in the, in the ground. But I think I look at the old Silver Fox. I'm like, reconciliation is real, right? Reconciliation is real. And like, as Valiants, I'm assuming that actions always speak louder than words. So let her act. My hands up.
I mean, that sounds like a dang good persuasion check to me.
Yeah.
Let her rip.
Alrighty.
Wait, what I was gonna do.
Hey, I'm cool. That's 21.
Yeah.
Very good. With a very convincing, heart turning speech there from Musa D. Theor locks eyes with the bard and says, "This is true. Those who are noble at heart will rise to the occasion when given the chance to. What would you suggest we do with her? Should we allow her to walk uncontested, unbound? You ask me to let a known offender walk with the ability to harm others, even if she makes promise of good. It is still hard to imagine that there is still not some level of betrayal in her heart."
Again, Silver Fox. I've seen a lot of metal and heavy armor and clanking and clanking. And I just can't help but think that maybe someone that does magic and sorcery and is an academic could potentially help the Valiants moving forward, right? And so, again, I also want to give full autonomy to Devotion. But, like, I just feel like that ultimately we're all in the pursuit of the same ideal and the same goal, right? And so, again, hands up. But let's just get out the cave. Let's just get out the cave because we're still on the ground.
I would say that Musa D brings up a very good point, that Devotion knows a great deal more about the arcane than the Valiants do, which can be instrumental in terms of helping to apprehend Jacqueline. So I'm going to throw it over to the party. Whoever has a good Arcana check, if you could perhaps speak into Theor some sense surrounding this Arcana, then perhaps that might be enough to finally twist his arm. His metaphorical arm, if you will.
I'm going for it.
All right.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, the dirtiest. The dirtiest of 20s.
That is a good point raised there. I mean, of course, for myself, I do know a fair bit about matters arcane, but I don't know Jacqueline so well as Devotion does. I don't know the magical goings on here with the Forsaken. If you want an information source and someone who can very potentially deliver on it, very much more efficiently get us the thing that we've lost, I mean, here is your arcane storehouse of knowledge, walking on two legs with them. And he double checks how many horns she has. 2 horns?
2. You
Not
count
that it's
correctly.
important.
I do the one. Theor, once again in his cool, collected way, watches Musa D give his tale, watches Yoan support it, and then finally lands on Devotion. And you can see there is still something in him that wants to resist, given his nature, given his oaths, given his titles and his responsibilities. But he swings his gaze back towards Musa D and Yoan. If she truly is an asset in the way you proclaim her to be, she will operate unbound, she will be given free reign of self, she will aid in this investigation, but, and he cuts a glance back towards Devotion, if I see one inkling of wrongdoing, if I get the sense that you have any means of betraying the Valiant's efforts, you will be apprehended and you will be brought to justice. Do I make myself clear? And Devotion looks back towards the party. There's sort of a silent thank you can see given in her eyes to the rest of you as she looks back towards Theor. You have my word. I will do nothing but support the valiance and the apprehension of Jacqueline Stoneeye. Very good. Now let's see to my nephew and be on with this.
Point of order the fourth. Nothing to do with the last subject, actually. Didn't you say that Jacqueline had something of a stockpile of coins, treasures, other things in her little room? Are
you asking?
I know there was the vault, of course, but
oh, like if there's any other more Jacqueline-related treasures that are hiding.
I'm trying to. It was in my notes somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where it was.
Let me double check my own.
Jacqueline, former guy's position. Raid the treasury.
Yeah, I think there's like, you said there was like 10,000 gold in there.
Yeah,
I still see something to smile.
it's a nice round number. Yeah, it sounds correct. Yeah,
a million XP per person.
Well, here's what we'll say.
You know what? Don't even worry about it. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Well, Theor will take a look over at you and say, "You do realize that the goods here, these are all stolen. These are all taken from the good people from the realm that the Forsaken have accosted on the trails and the roads. If anything, these need to be accounted for, they need to be reported, and they need to be returned to the correct sources if they can be."
So are you going to bring the Valiants here to do that?
Once we can report back to the officers, I will indeed let them know of the whereabouts of this Forsaken cache, and they will come here, and they will account for everything, yes.
I didn't mean to imply that you wouldn't. I was literally just asking. And Viola's blushing.
I also wasn't exactly suggesting I was off to buy an airship, mind you. I'm just saying, perhaps we should deplete the resources, and then if repatriating it is what needs to be done, then repatriating it is what needs to be done. But
What needs do we for this gold now? We need to catch Jacqueline. Let's go.
So
well, the gold might help that. It's immaterial at this point. Very clearly.
Or we leave the cave, right? Just throw it back out there again.
I keep going. I'm charging after Jacqueline.
I go to get Percy and Creep, and I'm holding them both by the hands, and I ask Creep if he wants to stay, or if he wants to come with us.
Creep, you grab his big, meaty, clawed hand, and at one point, the doors were barred. They were magically sealed to prevent creatures of his lineage from passing through, right? And you can see he already looks conflicted as you're like pulling him forward, and right when you're about to cross the threshold between where the library would end and the central chamber begins, there is definitely a tangible tense of the muscles, a flex of his body, a grip of your hand.
The moment I feel that, I do not give any resistance. I give him slack.
Creep slowly lets the arm fall, but there is sort of a sadness, and he looks towards the party, and he looks back behind him towards the books. Books? Friends? Books? Friends? Oh, Creep. Creep. You can see there's beginning to be a panic that is setting into him.
No, Creep! How can we save Creep?
I know the feeling, Creep. I do, believe me.
I'm going to look at Theor and I'm going to say, we need to come back for him, or we need to take care of him? I know you're sending the Valiants here. What's that going to look like? Because look at this little guy.
Yeah, don't hurt our little friend.
Oh man, you're really asking a lot of Theor. You're asking a lot of Theor this session.
He's so pious that I feel like he's got to.
in this moment, I think Nadara, seeing that Theor is like already conflicted, she's gonna just walk up to him and clap him on the back real hard and be like, "Oh, come on. You've never done not an ounce of dirt in your life."
Theor takes a look over at Devotion and says, "You have already been entrusted with a great deal of freedom from me. You know this creature well. You know the purpose that it served. Did it not fight on behalf of Jacqueline? Did it not draw blood for ill gains?" And Devotion...
I don't like you calling him an it, first off.
Devotion begins to nod her head. "Well, yes, Creep was tasked with defending the sanctuary, and what bound him to..." And looks towards to Viola. "What bound him to this place?" Trying to
the promise of knowledge.
To which Devotion does
trickery. He's a baby. Look at him.
Creep literally spattered in blood.
He's just a baby. He can pay you in books.
Pay you in books.
Devotion says, "Yes, it is true that Jacqueline promised him he could read from the library, but this was not a deal that she intended to keep. This was used to corral him." And Theor, raises his hand. Oh, Viola, I see a raised hand there.
Creep, can you even read?
Creep. Okay.
Manipulation.
Okay at read. Some words good, some words bad.
That's manipulation.
Theor finally says, trying to find the common ground here. "These books were likely taken from the Magisterium." "No?" As he points over towards Devotion. "Yes, a large deal of this library was taken from the Magisterium. As we were fleeing, many of us took some prohibited texts, and then he raises his hand. "And this Creep wants to be surrounded by said knowledge, would be possibly an asset in this regard, yes? Perhaps it is too soon to say. Certainly he is dedicated. Then I decree that when the Valiants eventually come to reclaim these texts and bring them back to the Magisterium, we will allow the Magisterium to make a judgment on this Creep, and perhaps he could be of use to them, a steward, a bookkeep, something. I don't know how they deal with things there, but it would be better than sitting in this cavern, I suppose."
So I look at Creep, and I'm gonna kneel down so I'm eye level.
Literally one eye level. Just one cycloptic eye level.
And I'm gonna say, so you've got plenty of time to practice your reading. You're gonna need to read all these books, and we're gonna come visit you soon.
Friends, come read books with Creep.
Yeah, we'll come read books with you.
Oh, Creep will find best books. Big books, small books, books with words, books with pictures. Books
Just
with
wait.
words and pictures.
Those are my favorite ones.
And to this, Theor finally looks back to the rest of the party. "Is this something that we all can agree upon for the future of Creep?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool
Of
with that.
course.
If he gets in, I get in. That's all I'm saying.
I like books with pictures too.
You know what?
Yeah.
I accept it. Creep, you can put in a good word for me with admissions.
Admissions?
Creep says and tilts his head to the side.
Exactly.
Okay, I think with that, we gotten Creep up. Percy, of course, now finally getting out of his beaten stupor, walks with newfound purposeful stride towards the party. Well, 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 Jacqueline Stone-Eye, villain of River Home, forsaken wizardess, are you ready to be escorted to your... I cannot help but notice there seems to be no dwarven magician in your company. Surely she is apprehended somewhere nearby, or...
Somewhere in a future point on the timeline, yes.
Percy,
at this
don't
present
rub it
moment,
in. Don't rub it in.
She's out. We're on our way. We gotta get her still.
Theor, gritting his teeth, puts a heavy hand on the back of Percy. You can hear the armor rattling, oh, as he stumbles forward. You have much to learn in the ways of being a valiant boy, and first of which is how to chase after your quarry quickly. And he begins to march out in the direction of the rest of the complex. Now, I can tell you that Devotion does know her way around the caverns very well. The party originally found their way into the grotto by quite daring means. You had to climb your way down a rocky cliffside and into a sort of an overhang above the water and maneuver your way into the cave system. Devotion, however, being a knowledgeable individual of the whereabouts of this place, actually leads you back in the opposite direction of the cliff overhang towards the direction of the magical cauldron room, which you spent a few moments experimenting with before Yoan eventually finally got upset at it and threw a fireball into the cauldron and then just exploded all of the magical reagents. First of all, Devotion sees that and goes, what is going on here?
It's taken care of.
Nothing at all.
Right, surely there was nothing of importance here anyway, she says, as she then walks towards one of the walls that has not been carved into a makeshift storage unit for all of the various reagents and now burned roots and powders. Yoan, I see a finger is being held up.
Is this the room where we got that warded arcane lockbox?
No, that was the barracks. That was the
Then
barracks.
Yoan ain't gonna say shit. Not yet.
Devotion raises her hand towards one of the rocks in the wall, sort of hovering her hand above it, making a strange movement, an incantation under her breath. Asun salamin asaios. And finally presses forward as you see the stone sort of ripple, almost like a stone dropping into a pool. As you see the stone fades, it is an illusory wall, and beyond this illusory wall, there is a winding carved stone staircase which leads back up towards the frontier. You can assume this is probably how the Forsaken got in and out of their hideout without jumping off of a cliff, which is how they would normally get in and out without any problems.
Yeah, this makes more sense than the cliff thing.
Well, I'm sure that Jacqueline has already made some good time on us, but we can do what we can to make up lost footing.
So we just jump?
It's a staircase up.
You can jump if you like.
Yeah, I think I'll take
If you were really looking forward to it, it seems to be your thing now.
All right, so I guess I know. So because I'll say this much, I know we're heading into the 10 o'clock hour, so we can say that we might draw our session to a close here. So the party is kind of given. Well, number one, you're all level 3 now. Congratulations and everyone also give yourselves a point of inspiration for finding some salvation for Devotion and Creep in the eyes of the law in Theorgrame. So the party seems to have their options kind of opened up to them. They can give direct chase to Jacqueline. She obviously has some head start on them into the wilderness, back into Riverholm. Or they can take Theor's suggestion, perhaps report back to the Valiant, see what's going on. They might have other forms of information. But of course, that might give Jacqueline some more time to make more headway. So it really depends on the course of action that the party deems wisest right now. So what do we think the party's leaning towards in terms of sessions moving forward?
Let's split up. Everybody split up.
Yeah, a DM's least favorite words.
Yeah. I feel like we're still following Jacqueline, no?
I think we should
that's
follow
definitely
Jacqueline.
the trajectory.
Yeah, but I also feel like we could use a long rest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
But if
maybe
we
something-
long rest, then she's just gonna get further and further away.
She's got a long rest too, baby. She took a thumping.
That's true. She did take a thumping.
That's
Yeah.
true. What if we did a short rest and a Jacqueline hunt?
I need to
I
sleep.
don't think. Do I have any hit
That was
dice
like, who
left?
said he has no healing spells left?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have nothing.
I mean, I'm out of extra actions too, so
Yep.
I can't complain. If we want to do long rest, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think we should long rest.
Okay, so it sounds like the party is going to take a camp in the wilderness on Jacqueline's trail and see what progress they can make when next we meet. But I think for now, we're going to draw our session to a close. Thank you all so much for coming and watching this episode of Level 1 Adventuring. Thank you to our newest follower, Garrett Lee, giving us that 230 ding on our follower count. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Level 1 Adventuring. If you're new here, we are an RPG and TTRPG stream. You've watched us play some D&D tonight. There will be more sessions moving forward. New episodes on Twitch, usually Wednesdays. Old episodes on YouTube. Follow us there. We're over halfway to being monetized on YouTube, so I would really appreciate it if you followed us there. Follow us on all the things, on Twitter, X, whatever they're calling it, and our Discord, more importantly, because that is where we post our go-lives. Also, on the Discord, I'm not going to pull up the sheet because I don't want my computer to melt, but the Discord has a play-by-post 5th edition West Marches campaign currently running, multiple DMs, there's factions, everyone's searching a cursed island together. It's a lot of fun, so we would really love to see you there if you can join us. All the instructions are on the Discord, so it's also all typed up, so you don't have to be nervous about being on camera like us. It's fun. Big thank you to all of our stream partners: Streamlabs, StreamSpell, AI TwitchBot, Epidemic Sound. All of those links are down below. If you use them, you get a kickback. We get a kickback. Everybody's happy. But with that, I think I'm gonna now popcorn my goodbyes. Oh, I guess I should say I'm Wolf Scott. I should say my goodbyes. I'm your host and dungeon master. I run Level 1 Adventuring, and I love playing D&D and other games with my friends. And then I will popcorn it over to Sydney.
Oh, hey, thanks for being here. Love you. Bye, Garrett.
I'm Garrett. Thanks for joining us. I got nothing to promote, so popcorn, Kimani.
Folks, you know the drill. Be kind, drink water. Thank you so much.
Who are you popcorning to?
Let's do Ember.
Hey y'all, my name is Amber. Thanks for joining. I also have nothing to promote at this time. Over to Zach.
A to Z.
You have to do that every time now. You've cemented that.
Exactly. But thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. I don't have anything to promote myself, but I thank you all for being here and hope everyone has a good week.
Excellent. I'm going to roll these beautiful outro credits, which show everyone who supports us monetarily over on the Discord and on the Patreon. And then after that, you're going to see our outro screen and we're going to leave you. So until then, be well, be easy, and we'll see you soon. Have fun, y'all.
Bye y'all.
Bye.
Peace.